Geneva is a resource that holds value on more than an environmental level to our area. It is the economical oasis of our community, fueling a majority of the financial activity as well as attracting tourists. The enthrallment of Lake Geneva is strongly based with the natural beauty. A large contributor to this would include the landmark of the Bigfoot Beach State Park that offers multiple recreational activities such as kayaking, fishing, hiking, biking, camping, and swimming. This being said, we recognize the value of our lake and the need to protect it. This plan dates back to 1996 with the proposition to move the road back into the state park, while making the beach and shoreline nicer to the area. The environmental impact of these changes haven't been assessed, making the project even more suspicious. Residents of Lynn are strongly opposed due to the natural area being torn apart from the local government's wants to only please tourists.
So I've worked at Lake Geneva Youth Camp for over 11 years, and I think that the road would be a really bad idea because it would affect the way that the camp is run. It would cut off the campers from the lagoon, which is where they do a lot of their canoeing and a lot of activities. So they would have to cross the road just to get to the lagoon, and they'd have to also still cross the road just to get to the lake. So it's going to make it a lot more complicated and not as safe for the campers because there's going to be a major road running along the side of the camp.
They'll actually lose part of the park if they want to build a parking lot big enough for 300 cars. You're taking away part of the park. That doesn't services nobody. From an environmental standpoint, opening the lagoon up to the lake, you're damaging the history of the environment around the lake area and the lagoon. You will lower the level of the lagoon. You will open the bacteria up between the lake and the lagoon, which is not a good thing. We don't really need another boat launch. There's enough boat traffic on the lake as it is. Allowing more boats and easier access isn't good for the lake either, or for the area. From a tourism standpoint, people will come here because they love the area. It's a quaint area. We don't need to do anything else to draw more traffic here. We already have it.
This road would have a huge negative impact on the environment in the area. The road would cut through the lagoon, merging it with the lake, and all the bacteria that lives in the lagoon is now going to make its way into the lake, as well as it would destroy the trees and the natural beauty of the area, and it would take away habitats for wildlife.
There are 3 good lake views driving by around the whole lake, and if they put that boat launching there, that's going to be taken away. It's going to be driving further off the lake, and you're going to get that view taken away from you. The picnic area in the state park is going to be paved over. It's going to go through Lake Geneva Youth Camp. I've worked there for 4 years. It's not going to be good for the camp. It's not going to be safe for the kids. There's going to be more roads surrounding the camp. It's going to be closer to the camp. It's just going to be dangerous for that.
The current beach is in rough shape, and some local residents feel the DNR purposefully neglected it to move forward with a project to revamp the area. With the beach possibly being redone, we're being sold with the idea of a Caribbean beach, but we are not going to receive that. Complaints about road quality need to be addressed, but that could be taken care of more easily instead of building a whole new road. Building that beach would destroy one of the greatest things about the lake, the party atmosphere where people can anchor their boats and enjoy the day. The proposed plan for the road will cost taxpayers of Lake Geneva and Lynn $2.2 million due to the vast amount of negative impacts on the wetlands. Plus, there will be an additional $1 million tax burden on the taxpayers due to the boat launch they plan to build. There will be dredging of the lagoon, which will remove all of the underwater vegetation and kill many of the fish species in the lagoon, including the endangered sunfish, thereby decreasing the species richness and diversity of the state park. If South Lakeshore Drive is to be rerouted, it will result in separation of animals from their watering source. This would force deer, possums, and other animals to cross the street, putting not only their lives at risk, but endangering the well-being of drivers in Lake Geneva area. The reroute and parking lots will be constructed in the park's wetlands and will destroy ecological filtering benefits of the wetlands. It will also require a lot of fill material to raise the roadbed and parking complex to prevent them from flooding in the wet seasons. There will be 4 parking lots added with over 300 parking spaces in order to park and hold additional cars and boat trailers. This will not only add to the exhaust and noise pollution within the park, but also fragment large portions of the habitat and remove a large number of trees, which raises the question, is this a state park or a state parking lot? This project is approved and eventually funded. The new route will divide the forest in half, cutting off access to the water and eliminate a large portion of habitat for the wildlife they call Bigfoot Beach State Park home. So let's review. Impacts of the park include fragmentation of the park, natural area, and wildlife habitat, loss of old growth forest and native vegetation, loss of part of the self-guided nature trail, adverse impact to the largest block of natural area in the park, loss of wildlife habitat, an increase in mortality rate to the wildlife because of the reroute, adverse impact to the natural area experience associated with the park, water quality and drainage infiltration issues to the lagoon, and significant increase in traffic and human activity. Plagued by new access roads, paved parking lots, emissions, and certainly toxic fluids from boats and automobiles, Bigfoot Beach State Park, that is today, would cease to exist. If you want to learn more information about the proposed plan for Bigfoot Beach and want to sign the petition to prevent destruction to our state park, go to www.careforlakegeneva.com.